Hello and welcome to another video. I am back today with another charity shop haul, another really good charity shop haul. Now this is the second video that I'm putting out today. If you have a look at my channel, you will see I just put up the September edition of the Abominable Book Club book subscription box. So if you want to check that out, please do. But this video is going to be about my charity shop haul. But the first item, something a little bit different. DC Comics have just launched their new event called DC KO, kind of like a big battle royale between a lot of different characters in order to kind of like gain power to defeat Darkseid. It's a bit more complicated than that, but that's essentially what it is. And they released a blind bag edition. So this includes a foil variant. Some of them are exceedingly rare and some are pretty common. So I thought I'd pick up one of these because I am interested in checking out the event, and I want to see what foil cover that I got. So let's open this up. And we have a foil Darkseid cover. It says DC KO on the back, and then underneath the cardstock cover you do actually have, I was going to say you do actually have the regular cover, but you don't on this one. You did on the recent Batman #1. If you get a blind bag variant of that, it's got the foil cover, then it's got another regular cover underneath it, but this one just goes straight into the comic from that. But yeah, that is the one I've got, and I actually have a list up of all of the variant covers. I'm going to see if this is a particularly rare one. It's the first one on the list, so probably not. This is the Mark Spears 1 in 100 blind bag variant. So not particularly rare. One in 100 bags is going to have this particular cover. So it's not super common, but not super rare. They have some that are like 1 in 1,000. They have like a lot of different variant covers for this. But yeah, happy with that cover. Let's get on to the actual books that I picked up today from charity shops. So we will start with Dean Koontz, 77 Shadow Street. Now if you've ever been in a charity shop, you will know that there are hundreds upon hundreds of Dean Koontz books in every single charity shop. But this is one that I didn't have. Never seen this out in the wild before. It is on my list of Dean Koontz books. I've got a list of the books that I don't have, and this is like right up at the top because it's in alphabetical order, so I put numbers first. And never ever seen it out in the wild, so happy to get that. That's pretty cool. Now I've got a lot of books here, so I'm not going to read out the blurbs for like all of these because my voice won't handle that much talking, to be honest. Next up we have 2 non-fiction books, something a little bit different. Journal of the Fantastic in Arts, 2002, volume 33, number 1. So this is a collection of articles, you can probably just about make out what that says, about the fantastic in cinema, in books, in media. So you've got a lot of horror, fantasy, sci-fi themed articles and reviews in that book, which is something that I'm definitely into. So you have just articles and reviews and stuff like that, and that's all kind of like subjects that I'm interested in, so I thought I'd pick that up. We have that. And we have number 2 as well, which again, similar kind of contents. If that wants to focus. Yeah, so just reviews, content, articles, etc. in that. So yeah, I thought it was quite interesting. I've never seen anything like this. Like you don't tend to find academic books about like horror and fantasy and stuff like that out in charity shops. They're usually on eBay for like a hell of a lot of money. But yeah, nice to find the occasional academic book out there. Next up we have Whitley Strieber, The Last Vampire. And that is, as you might imagine, a vampire book. I've got a few Whitley Strieber books. I read Communion by him when I was a kid, but I've not actually read anything else by him. That was like an alien novel. Obviously, like I said, this is vampire novel. I'm guessing the woman on the cover is a vampire. I don't know. We can only see her back, so we can only see him. Presumably, she's the last vampire. Maybe why she doesn't want to show her face. Don't know. No idea. But yeah, that is The Last Vampire. Next up we have Sheridan Le Fanu, The House by the Churchyard. This is quite a meaty novel. I've got a lot of Sheridan Le Fanu. His Through a Glass Darkly, or is it In a Glass Darkly, is an excellent collection of short stories. And I've got him in a lot of different anthologies as well. But this is kind of like a really big, thick novel, small font size as well. You're looking at kind of like 542 pages there, so that's a chunky one. So yeah, nice to have, because I don't actually have any of his novels. I have a collection on my Kindle of like all of his works, but nothing beats actually having an actual hard copy. Next up we have another non-fiction book. Paranormal Stories, Supernatural Tales and Unexplained Mysteries from Across the World by Jamie King. Did you hear about the honeymooners who were abducted by aliens? What about the woman who woke up in a parallel universe? Do you know the legend of the haunted lighthouse? I don't know about any of those things, but presumably they're going to be in this book. So this is just, yep, just a collection of weird paranormal stories throughout the world, as it says. Yeah, I've got dozens of books like this, but I always pick up new ones when I see them, because they just interest me. So the rest are all hardbacks. So we have Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde by Robert Louis Stevenson. This is a book I already have. A few copies of, in fact. But I don't have any in hardback, and this was kind of like a nice hardback edition. Nothing on the back. This may seem like quite small, but if you have a look at the size of the text in this book, you will need a magnifying glass to read that, probably. So yeah, very, 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 very small text. Why does it say chapter 1 in the middle of the book? Oh, okay, so this isn't just Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. This is actually an anthology. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde and Other Stories, it says on there. It doesn't say that on the cover. Bit misleading. But there you go. You've got all of that in there. Weird that it wouldn't say that on the cover, but never mind. That's what we've got. But still, yeah. First time we've had that in hardback, so that is Pretty cool. Next up, I'm going to leave that one till last because it's got the best cover. Next up we have William by Mason Coyle. And this is, what's it about? I don't even remember. I did read this blurb in the shop, but I don't remember anything about it. So just a weird kid who's being a bit weird, and something like that. Maybe he's kind of like a creature. Yeah, it looks like he created a creature, and the creature is now being a bit of a dick, so he's got to deal with him. Yeah. I do like the cover on that. That is simple, but it is effective. So some kind of story similar to Frankenstein there by the looks of it. Next up we have Barbara Hamley, Travelling with the Dead. So this, as you can see, says at the top, it is a vampire novel. And that is what it is about. So, yeah, I do like vampire stuff. That's a second blurb. There's a blurb on the back, but there's one there as well. I have another book by Barbara Hamley, but I don't actually remember what it is. It's not a vampire one. But yeah, that is a cool cover. I do like that. But the best cover that I got today is Reprisal by F. Paul Wilson. Some dude being struck by lightning, firing lasers out of the middle of a cross over a city. That's a horror cover right there. That is, I like that a lot. You don't see F. Paul Wilson out and about all that much, but nice to find him when you do. I have a couple books by him, including The Keep, and this appears to be the third in the trilogy, from what I can tell, looking at the blurb there. Not entirely sure, but if I do read this, I'll probably read the other two first. But yeah, that is, like I said, my favourite cover of the bunch. That's really quite cool. And that is everything that I got in that charity shop haul. So that is now 3 solid weeks that I've got quite a lot of stuff. So again, hopefully it continues. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. If you see a video next week, you'll know it did. If you don't, then you'll know that it didn't, or I've died, or I lost my limbs and I'm lying in bed somewhere. Don't know. But yeah, that is it for this video. If you enjoyed, please like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you next time.